holy temple, let all be silent before him. Our pastor, Lloyd Moll, is our speaker today. And we also have our minister of music, Bud Bowen, and our song leader is Reverend Glenn Lehman. And we all welcome you to join in the beautiful service that will be presented today. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today is a special day because you're all here. And you're all here to know what is to be said and to have and to hold. And I thank you for coming. It's such a beautiful day today that just give blessings for it. And our first song today will be 76.
Yes, I believe in miracles.
That's for sure. That's what we're doing today. Thank you. And now, just bow your heads or make yourself comfortable in the manner in which it suits for the singing of the greater prayer of all prayers, the Lord's Prayer. You may be seated. I'm going to read out of this book. It's called God Calling. My wife bought it for me. It's a beautiful book. It has descriptions of the verses that are here. And this one comes from Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 27. Rest, knowing all is so safe in my hands. Rest is trust. Ceaseless activity is trust, without the knowledge that I am working for you. You do not rest. Inaction then would be the outcome of despair. Welcome the knowledge, delight in it. Such a truth is a rope flung to a downing man, and every repetition of it is one pull nearer shore and safety. Let that illustration teach you a great truth. Lay hold of the truth. Pray it. Affirm it. Hold on to the rope. How foolish are your attempts to save yourself? One hand on the rope and one making efforts to swim ashore. You may relinquish your hold of the rope and hinder the rescuer. Hold of the rope and hinder the rescuer, who has to act with a greater caution, lest he lose you. The storms and the tempests are not all of life. The psalmist who said, all thy waves and thy billows are not gone over me, wrote also, he brought me up also out of an horrible pit, out of the mire clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my goings. Meditate upon that wonder. Truth, the 3 steps: safety, security, and guidance. 1, he brought me up also out of an horrible pit, safety. 2, he set my feet upon a rock, security. 3, he established my goings, guidance. Guidance is the final stage when the saved soul trusts. He trusts me so entirely it seeks no more its own way, but leaves all future plans to me, its rescuer. That part is the best part, and the part you should remember most of all. Me, so entirely it seeks no more its own way, but leaves all future plans to me, its rescuer. And I thank you for that. And now if you'd go with me in reading the creed. This church was founded in order to teach, promote, and demonstrate metaphysical and spiritual laws. We respect the truths of all religions to expand awareness throughout the world, revering all life for the benefit of all mankind. And our next song is number 5. Good God, my Father, who gives me life and shares with me every moment of this brand new day with a brand new life. All you do is give him a chance. As he loves you, just show your love for him. But by the way you act to your brothers and sisters, to which we are, for if you cannot do this, then you cannot love me. For I am the same. As they are, you are. Your brothers and sisters, who I created the same as you. That's very hard to remember. I don't know how or what. I know that I'm a very inquisitive person. I had to find out, I had to know. So I went and I went and I went and I looked, and I couldn't find answers in a book. I just can't find answers in a book for what I need. Good morning. So as I looked, most of everything that I was shown and told comes from my teacher, Abraham. Most of it is Abraham that is doing this today. It is all that is because I cannot bring these words out. I don't have the capacity as to know exactly what to say. But why are we brothers and sisters? God created us as an equal. How are we equal with flesh? It's very, very difficult to be a brother and sister in flesh. But what he did was when he first created spirit, he says, I am creating you. As I am, you are. Do you have any idea what that really means? The spirit of that which is God is everything that we are. All the things that are within us is that which is. So the brother and sister comes with spirit. When we took on flesh, we said, and we kept going after and after, we need something now. We just don't want to be spirit anymore. We need something. And God explained that what is to be, if you take on flesh, you remember the harbor, that it controls the spirit. The spirit now is going to be encased with flesh. You cannot no longer do as I do. You can't be as all the things are. Because now you have to know that spirit is the completeness of I am. But you want flesh, so flesh I will share with you. And this is the whole point of everything today. You have to know this. No, you are the creation of God, of spirit, the completeness of spirit. Everything I am, you are. And that was very hard for me to understand. Why and how am I God? I'm part of that. And why am I acting the way I act? Why do I have problems with other people? Why do I have problems with almost anything I ever do? It's because the spirit no longer can do what it's supposed to. You see, when you are covered with the flesh, spirit becomes dormant. And the soul also becomes dormant because it's also inside. What you have to do is know how to learn to awaken that which is inside. When we teach and tell you to know to love yourself, that's what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to know that you are a worth, that you have everything going for you, that God is in you. You're the purpose of life. Every second of this day is a brand new beginning for you and for life itself, for creation. And that's what he's trying to tell us and what he's trying to bring across to us. He wants us to know that we really are loved by him. It's a completeness. But change your thoughts. Allow yourself to become what is of God. My hardest time was when it was always said about, why don't you give yourself over to God? Why don't you give yourself over? Well, I have faith. I believe. I know. I understand. Why are you telling me to give myself over to God? Well, because you won't get so complicated then. Our thoughts come from our brain. And our brain does not have a very happy intention at times. It takes on things that we seem to see and yet not see. So we get upset. Somebody says something, somebody does something. Even a little animal like a dog comes up and he makes a move at you. Take that dog, get away with it. I don't want to be bit. Well, it's the same thing as each one of you. Go away from me. I don't need you. I don't want you pressing me. I don't want your faults. Well, why not? Why don't you want your faults or her faults or his faults? Because the same thing is within you. What you're yelling about or what you're upset about is nothing more than what you're upset about with yourself. So, for the longest time, I kept going to my teacher. Well, show me something. Tell me something. Well, nothing ever happens. Never happens. And all of a sudden it says, well, if I give you all these things, you'll be all the same as you are now. But if you really look into yourself, really put into what you have that I share with you, and allow me to be a part of it, that is the meaning of give yourself to God. Put yourself in my hands. Let me give you a chance to life. When you get upset, when you get discouraged, and I do that not so much anymore, but I used to do it a great deal. I wanted to run and hide. I even made a couple of remarks this morning. I'm ready to fly because it's so much and it's so beautiful. But I did find out that when I do have a great mix-up in my head, I'll stand sometimes and I'll think, well, no, wait a minute. And all of a sudden, it decreases. It becomes easier to handle. And when it first started like that, I thought to myself, wow, what's going on? What's happening? Well, the answer says, well, you finally realize that you're part of God. Your spirit is the completeness of everything that I am. And you're beginning to allow yourself to become the Spirit. You're letting the Spirit awaken to the mind and give it some help. You see, this Spirit that's in you is control. It's the matter of everything you are with God. Believe it and know it. Because then you can cooperate with being a brother and sister. It has nothing to do with flesh, because each one of us have our own purpose in life. Each one of us are of a different nationality. So that's where it conflicts. We're a different color. We're a different size. We're a different beauty. But you see, every beauty and every size is the same with spirit. It's complete. It doesn't have nothing to do with the flesh. Flesh is only because we wanted to be seen and be part of a whole. But it really doesn't. Oh, I like the mic. But honestly, it is so different. Every move, every thought that we have, allow that which is the God within you, the Christ within you. Let it help you have an answer. Let it help you work yourself through the problems. Do I have good days every day of my life? I'll say yeah, but it's a fib, because I don't. I'm just like any one of you. I have my problems. I have my thoughts. But I hear the creations of everything that's going on in our world today. And it's nothing more than we're all so complicated in a matter to which we create ourselves. Everything that is today, everything from the beginning of time, is nothing that God created in the manner to what we have and see through the ages, because we created it. Our head up here, our greed, our moment of not being able to accept others. I am me. And I don't care who you are, because I'm loving you for everything that you are. But you don't have to be exactly like me. And the only way you can be is becoming the spirit within yourself. Then you have the person that is here with flesh, and then you have the person to which is God and Christ within you. Combining that makes a whole. Of thy will to be done. Do you ever stop to really think of what that really means? Of thy will to be done is the creation to which is. It said that the mind and my will with God. That takes some doing. But it helps. It works. That spirit inside, it wants to be free. It wants to be alive. It wants to be everything it can be that God. Well, Jesus Christ said it. Of all these things I do, ye can do in greater. That was the hardest part for me to understand. But he means exactly that. You can be as I am. You can create. You can do these things I do. But it's with God. It's with God. Don't ever forget. Jesus Christ is the Prince of all things. He's the beauty of all things. But his words are also the same as, without my Father I am naught. Well, what is he talking about? What is he saying? He's saying, I cannot do this. I cannot be anything without my Father. And that's what that means. None of you can be without the Father. And if you try it, lots of ruck. And I said ruck, I didn't say luck. It is the whole thing in a nutshell. It's a completion of life. Every beauty, every honor, everything that is that which God in you created. The holiness, the beauty, everything. I know that when I'm up here, I have such a joy because it's so much fun and so much beauty and all kinds of things I can't even describe. But I've only learned that it's going on 3 years now. And I'm at this over almost 37 years. But it takes time. You've got to know yourself. Don't ever begin to think you know yourself. Because, man, what you find when you finally wake up, it's amazing. Oh, it's amazing. You know, it's times when the morning comes and it's like, wow, I got strength to get up and I can move. And I can become part of the day. Oh, that's pretty neat. I don't have any idea what the day's going to bring, but it's got to be beautiful because it's beautiful. And I don't care if it's snowing cats and dogs or raining mothballs. I don't know where that came from, but... And that's another thing, the laughter. Don't be afraid to laugh. Don't be afraid to laugh. Now, one little more thing. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm looking at Karen, she's starting to laugh. The greater of the thing, I had a chance yesterday, which was a great, beautiful day because my daughter and granddaughter took me out to dinner and a show for Father's Day. So we picked out a show, or I picked out a show, and I just wanted to see it. Noah's Ark, right? Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to see something that'll teach you a lesson, the funniest thing I've seen in years, I had so much laughter, I can't remember when I laughed that long, or that much. But I wonder how many of you will actually catch the story of what it's being told. God, it's beautiful. And it's nothing more than what I've been talking about today. I'm not going to answer it because I want you to answer it and to find it. The greater part of that was, they always said, well, if this happens and I give it to you, then it's just not going to be what you really want. But if you find it, you look for it, and gain it, then it will be everything and more that you even hoped for. So you see, when you, like it said, when you pray, be careful what you pray, because if you receive it, you better know how to handle it. I'm talking for experience. I'm serious about that. It took me a long time to realize what was wrong with my prayers, because I did not allow it to be what I prayed for, because when it happened, oh man, this is great. But the